Just in the full swing of things, man. Y'all know how that grind is. How long y'all been doing this podcast?
Man,
A little over a year.
Yeah, a little. This your episode 58, 58, I think, or 59.
58.
Okay.
58, yeah. So a little over a year.
I'm sure y'all done had some top notch talent on here, man. I'm sure y'all done had some dudes on here, man.
Hey, we've had some good people on here, some good knowledge, information, and a lot of wins too. We've had a lot of wins on here, yourself included.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach.
One more thing. Congrats to one of your players, Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
Did he receive preseason player of the year, I think?
Yeah. The best thing about that, man, is like Scotty's just a great kid, man, a great person, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would think, you know, with his pedigree and his background and who his father is and stuff like that, people may assume a certain type of thing about him, man. He's a great kid, a great person, man. So I'm just really happy for him, man. He's worked his butt off. He's been a leader for us, man, been an example. So I'm really happy for him, man. Yep.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, we're just going to go ahead and get into it real quick. We got Coach James Strong with us on the show today. He is the Director of Scouting and Recruiting for the Vanderbilt Men's Basketball program. He played college basketball at Vandy, has had coaching stops at Vanderbilt, Furman, Belmont, and now back at Vandy under Jerry Stackhouse. Coach, we appreciate you coming on again today, sir. What's been going on with you? What's new? How you doing?
Man, it's been good, man. You know, I've been wanting to get back to Vandy for a long time. Graduated in 2000 and worked with Coach Stallings as Director of Basketball Operations for 6 years. And, you know, my coaching journey kind of took me to some different places and stuff like that. But, you know, been fortunate to be at a lot of really good schools, man. But and I always wanted to get back to Vandy, man. So I'm excited to be back working with Stack.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, you obviously, you know, you've been at Vandy, probably a total of 16, 18 years now with a couple stints, or a little less than that?
Yeah, I think it's 4 as a player, 6 as Director of Basketball Operations, and going into my 3rd year with Stack, so right at 13.
So just kind of told us about Vandy, what it's meant to you, the history, obviously the basketball program, there's a lot of history. You got Memorial Gym, incredible, talent that has come through there over the years. Just what does Vanderbilt mean to you, and how do you see it?
Man, I mean, it's I don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where to start, man. There's been so many good players come through this school, through this program, a lot of alumni, a lot of former players with a lot of pride. So, you know, I got to Vandy, man. I really didn't know what to expect. But when I got here, I kind of fell in love with it, man. Fell in love with the school. I obviously fell in love with the people. And just being able to play, you know, man, at the highest level, and then also get, you know, a top 20 education, man. You can't really ask more than that. So,
yeah.
Yep.
How hard was the classwork?
Hey, man, I tell people this all the time, man. I don't know how I got in, right? I don't know how I got in, man, but I got out. So, you know, you kind of get your groove once you get here, man. You know, that first semester of college for everybody is kind of an adjustment.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays, man, you know, kids can come in and take a class during the summer and kind of, you know, get adjusted and kind of give it its life, man. We were just thrown to the wolves back then. So, you know, I kind of got my groove, man. If you kind of learn how to manage my time and stuff like that, man. But I don't know how I got in, man. I just figured out a way to get out.
All right, Coach, what is the best advice? You look back at your career, and let's say from the transition from playing to coaching, what is the best advice you would have given your younger self right as you started coaching?
To get in the gym more, shoot more, man. I mean, that would probably be the number one thing. You know, hindsight is always 20/20, right? I got to school basically off athleticism. You know what I mean? I was just trying to run and jump and just dunk on everybody, man. Get it out on the break and slash and get to the basket and finish. And, you know, jump shot was kind of an afterthought, right?
Yeah.
You know, the mid-range game was a little bit more, you know, kind of in play back then, man. But I would tell myself to get in the gym and just shoot, especially where the game is like evolved now, right? I just think about it, had that weapon back then and understood, you know, just how hard, you know what I mean, how hard you got to work, man, and how much time you got to put in, man. That would be the number one thing, without a doubt, no question.
That's awesome. What would you tell yourself? So when you transition from player to coach, what would you tell your coaching, the beginning, right as you started coaching, what would you have told that coach, James Strong?
Man, I would tell him to just shut up and listen, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got into it and you know, you think you know everything, man, but you really don't. You have no idea, right? It's like, as a player, your mind is going one way and you're thinking one thing, and then you get on the other side of it, and it's crazy how a player's thinking one thing and the coach is thinking a totally different thing. So I would just I would probably just advise myself to maybe be a little bit more ambitious. you know what I'm saying? Again, I love Vanderbilt so much. I just want to stick around. Love working with Coach Stallings, man. Obviously love Nashville. You know, maybe just to be a little bit more ambitious and to network a little bit more. Yeah, I didn't understand that part of the game back then, right? I mean, you know, talking to coaches, you know, getting your resume, you know, you type that, keep your resume tight. Just always trying to network and stuff like that, man. I just didn't really appreciate that part of the coaching business, you know, because people hire who they know. Right? They always hire who they know. So I would definitely like network a little bit more. That would be my advice to give to any young coach that's trying to get into the game right now, man. Just, you know, and we all know a bunch of coaches, whether it's through people we played against or, you know, former coaches or just different type of connections like that. Even if it's just a simple thing about, you know, sending a note or, you know, talking to a coach before or after the game or something like that, man, I would definitely appreciate that part of it a lot more.
Yeah. So when did you find out about, like, when did you find this out? Was it 3 years in, 10 years in? Like, when were you like,
are you still figuring it out?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's always evolving, man. But I would say probably 3 or 4 years in. And again, like, you know, I'll be honest with you, man. I struggle with the transition from being a player to a coach because I was at the same school, right? I'm coaching some of the guys I played with.
Yeah, that's
I'm still in the same place I'm living. So I struggle making that transition and kind of making that separation right away. But I think about 3 or 4 years in, man, I started to get, you know, real serious about it and just trying to perfect my craft. You know, so craft is like everything else, man. You got to work at it. You got to work at it. So it took me a minute, man. I got to figure it out. Still don't got it all figured out yet, though.
Yeah. All right, one more, and I'm gonna throw it back to you for a second. But so talk a little bit more about transitioning from player to coach. I've said that phrase over and over again now, right. But you said you struggled a little bit to separate yourself from being a player to being a coach because you were at the same school. What advice would you give to a player transitioning to a coach at that same school? Maybe how to distance yourself or separate yourself, et cetera.
That's a really good question. I think, man, you got to separate yourself from your teammates, so to speak, right? Your ex-teammates. It's like, you know, I was in practice one day and Coach Stallings said something. He asked me, and I agreed with Coach. And then my boys looking at me like, hold on, man, like you did the same thing when you was playing, right? You gonna say that now? So, I mean, I think you got to kind of like separate yourself a little bit more, and you just got to like kind of put the time in, man. Like I didn't put enough time into it when I was, you know, getting into the game, right? I mean, I appreciate where I was. You know, I was glad to throw on a suit, be down there on the sidelines. But when I was in like coaches meetings, you know, just the work you put in and the scouting, you know, the details you have to be, you know, the recruiting aspect of it, all that type of stuff. I just didn't appreciate that part of it as much, right? Because I was still, you know, trying to separate the two. But I mean, I think it's particularly hard, man, when you played at a school and you start coaching right away, right then. And so, I mean, it was. I would do it all over again. Don't get me wrong, but I would try to take a little bit more approach, man. Just try to be more of a pro about it.
Be a pro
right away.
Be a pro.
That's great.
Like that.
Thanks, Coach.
So, Coach, I'm not too familiar with the background. You talked about how Vandy meant a lot to you. You love Nashville. You love Vanderbilt. How did you get to Vandy? What went into that decision, and kind of your playing career, leading up to Vandy, and how you got there?
Yeah, man, it's a crazy story, man. I don't know if a lot of people know this, man. So I played high school ball in Huntsville, Alabama, right? Played for Jackdaws. Man, we had some squads, right? You know, we had some teams. I think on my junior and senior year team, man, we probably had about 9 or 10 guys go D1, right? So we just that time, I don't know what happened, man. We just had some really good teams back then with a lot of talent. But my freshman year in high school, we had a senior on the team. His name was Howard Pride, right? Howard Pride, he the head coach of Stewart's Creek now. He's had his coaching journey of his own. He went to Vanderbilt. And I didn't know anything about Vanderbilt at all, man. I knew about the SEC, Alabama, Tennessee, Auburn, stuff like that. Vanderbilt, I didn't even know that was in the SEC. So he went to Vanderbilt, so that's how I kind of got on my radar, right? And then, you know, Nashville and all that type of stuff. So he came to Vandy. You know, I started to blossom a little bit, started getting recruited a little bit, started going into my junior year, went to some different camps, man. I really went to a Kreider camp up in Cincinnati. And back then, man, AAU was big, but it's not as big as it was now. We kind of went to exposure camps. I went to one camp, man, played well. Buzz Peterson was there watching. So Buzz Peterson actually recruited me. And then when I got to Vandy, man, he dipped on me. So he didn't even coach me at all. But so Howard, he came to Vandy, and then I came up here, man, on an unofficial visit to a football game. Howard took me around. went into the environment, man, just saw how passionate the fans were. And even, you know, with a football program that's not as big as some of the others in the SEC, right?
Right.
Still a great football program, don't get me wrong, but I just saw how passionate the fans were, man. Loved the city, loved how close it was to my mom, man. So I followed Howard up here, you know what I'm saying? And so when I got here, as my freshman year, he was a senior on the team again, man. So that's kind of how I got here. It's a crazy story.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, hey, this isn't a basketball question, but how much has the city of Nashville changed since you were in school here?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. We had a kid on campus today, and, obviously we trying to sell Nashville, sell the SEC, and sell the academics. We kind of call it the best of all worlds, really. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and I was telling him, man, back in '96, as an 18-year-old coming to Nashville, oh, man, it was off the chain. You know what I mean? I loved it. I mean, it was a great college town. And so it was amazing back then. It wasn't as tourist as it is, like, you know what I'm saying, right now. Mm-hmm. Like, people from Nashville, I mean, barely go downtown right now, man. It's all tourists down there right now, right? Yeah. I barely go down there, but
I don't have the money to go down there, Asa. It's really expensive down there now.
Parking, food, all that, man. So,
man,
I can't even recognize it in some places. I honestly don't even remember what it used to look like back then, man. It's crazy, the growth and the development. And I think it was right around, man, when did the Titans get here? Like 98?
I think it was like 96, 97 maybe. And then, they were in Memphis for a little bit. And then I think they may have played at Vandy a couple times. But I want to say they actually got in Nashville around like 98.
Yeah.
So that was the first year they made the Super Bowl, right? Like right as they moved here, I thought.
The year that they were in, the first year they were in Nashville, I believe they made, which was 2000 or 2001 or something. It was around with the time you graduated, Coach.
So yeah, man, it was I think it was right when the Titans came, and then the city just kind of just started to take off, man. So just bringing that NFL franchise and the Predators and all that stuff, man. But hey, so I can't even remember. Like I'm driving around, man. I'm telling you, man, I can't even remember what it used to look like, man. It's crazy. It's changed so much. I love it. You know what I'm saying? At some point, man, I wish they just shut the borders down and stop letting people come. You know what I mean? But I can't remember, man. It's crazy. It's changed so much.
Yeah, that's good, man. I love Nashville. I absolutely love this city. All right, I want to talk to you. So you've been under a man named Rick Byrd, and now you're under Coach Stackhouse. Obviously, a lot of people know Rick Byrd and his career. And with the time you were under him, he had been there for a while. His program was running like a well-oiled machine. Obviously, he had his way of approaching things. Now you're under a guy like Stackhouse, younger in the coaching game, at least on the college level, comes from a pro background. Talk to us about the different dynamics, maybe different way they handle things, different way they approach things, maybe practice or scouting reports, the different dynamics between a guy like Rick Byrd, who has been doing it for a long time, and a dude like Stackhouse, who is younger in the college coaching game, trying to find his way in his role and how he wants to be as a coach going forward. Just kind of the different dynamic between those two personalities.
Yeah. Well, before I get into that, man, I got to say, man, I've been fortunate, man, to work for 4 great coaches, right? Yeah. Coach Stahl has obviously played for him my senior year. And then what I learned from him in them 6 years when I was the director of basketball operations, just the knowledge I got from him, man, I got to, he kind of helped me.
I've heard Stallings X's and O's wise is amazing.
Oh, yeah, man. So I learned a lot from him. Then I was fortunate enough to go work with Jeff Jackson. He was an assistant at Vandy, and I went to Furman with him. That was my first kind of like assistant coaching job. And, man, the stuff he taught me about recruiting, right, like just the details, getting all the information when it comes to like a kid, who's got his ears, the mom, the dad, is the AU coach, the high school coach, being thorough when it comes to like getting their grades and transcripts and stuff like that, how to recruit a kid. Man, I learned so much from him recruiting, right? So those 2 guys really helped me establish my coaching foundation. When I went to Belmont, man, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Right. I was literally blown away, man. They had so much success. They had just come off a 30-5 year. I'm like, man, what could I do to even help these guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, they are, like you said, it was a well-oiled machine, man. What could I even do? But it was such good kids. Coach Byrd is such like such a nice guy, man. Such a good human being, right? I mean, everybody says that about him, but that's the first thing you know about him. He's just such a really, really good person, right? And he taught me how to be a better man in a lot of ways, right? How to treat people, how to run a program, how to treat your kids. Just he helped me become a better man. Obviously, he's old school. He's been doing things for a long time. People ask me like, why was he so successful, man? He was at the school for 30-some years.
Yeah.
And he believed in doing things a certain way. which was the right way. And it was just continuity in the program from class to class. Mm-hmm. So when freshmen came in, the seniors and the juniors showed them, yo, this is how we get down here. This is what it's going to be. Anything else is going to be unacceptable. His basketball mind is brilliant. So I'll just give you one example. So say we playing Murray State. Mm-hmm. Say it's my scout. I'm responsible for all their plays, knowing their actions, baseline out of bounds plays, half court sets, what they do in transition, all that stuff. He would look at their defense and kind of figure out, how we going to score against them. When I tell you Coach Bird could watch a single half of a game, right?
Yeah.
Watch how they guard ball screens, watch how they guard staggers, what they do on handoffs, how they guard the post. And then we'll come to practice next day and we'll have 8 new plays to get us a wide open layup or a wide open three. It was crazy. Like, it's crazy. We all sitting around in practice, coach there, he looking at his little paper. All right, run this, boom, 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 boom. And we know it's going to work because because that's how they guard. And so he was just his ability, his offensive mind, his ability just to identify little wrinkles, how to take advantage of defenses and how they played and how they guard and stuff like that, man. I can't say enough about that, right? Mm-hmm. And, you look at him and, you see just this nice guy, man. Coach Bird is fiery, right? Yeah, he is fiery. He's one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around. And that just trickled down through the assistant coaches, through the managers, through the players, through everybody in the program. Mm-hmm. So I would just say, man, that was probably the biggest. Trust me, I was there 8 years and got 7 rings. So I mean, it was a good little run. It was a good run, but I learned a lot. He taught me a lot. But that was probably the biggest thing. Just how to be a good person, how to run a program, and just how to kind of identify and take advantage of how defenses are going to guard or play, right? Yeah. So then Stack, I just look over sometimes. I'm like, man, hold on, that's Jerry Stackhouse, right? like people don't know, man. When I was coming up, man, Stack was like the next Jordan.
Yeah.
Went to Carolina, you know what I'm saying? 6'6", you know what I'm saying? Jumped out the gym, could do everything. So, I looked up at Stackhouse, man, when I was coming up. I look over there, man. This cat that played in the league 18 years, right? 18 years. So I'm just fortunate that I'm able to pick his brain and learn. So he may be young in his coaching, but he's been coaching for a while, right? Yeah. Even as a player, when he was in the league, he was a player's coach. Right. They tell me stories about him, how he would always take the young players and just help them out, kind of show them the ropes, teach them things and stuff like that. So he was already coaching when he was in the league.
Yeah.
Then he had a lot of success in the G League, and now he's here at Vandy, man. And just his approach, again, he's very competitive as well. His basketball mind is through the charts. His ability to draw plays and read defenses is very similar to Coach Bird, man. Both of those guys are offensive geniuses. But Stack's his defensive mindset, right? And his defensive mindset and the way he teaches our guys how to play defense, man, I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
Right. So don't get me wrong. Not only does he have the offensive mind, he can get out there on the court and still beat our guys one-on-one. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I think he beat somebody today after practice. So he can get out there and he can show our guys how to do it because he played in the league 18 years. But just the way, man, he relates to our players, it's a very pro approach. The college, is different, and the pros is different as well. Just the approach, man, how you deal with the players and how you just approach practice and stuff like that. So, man, it's been great for me. Coming from Coach Bird and then being able to learn from Coach Stackhouse now, man, I'm blessed. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm blessed.
I was literally going to ask you, what is something that Stack has brought from the NBA to college? Would you say it's the relationship? What is something particular that came from the league? We're getting a pretty cool experience at being in college now. Or this is something new. I hadn't even really thought about this.
Well, again, some of the defensive schemes and rotations and stuff like that. Everywhere I've been, we've always had defensive rotation, stuff like that. But just the way he teaches it to our guys, it's no gray area whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Do your job. This is your rotation. Do your job. This is where you're supposed to be. And there it is. So ain't no coach, well, I thought this and like that. No. We know exactly what we're supposed to be doing. We know what rotation we're gonna make, and it's been amazing to watch. And then I'll also say, man, just as his ability to relate with the players and just, show them how a pro did it for 18 years.
Yep.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And, man, we recruit. We recruit kids and we try to talk to them about stuff, man. But when I tell you, like, who better to come play for than the cat that played in the year for 18 years at a high level, at a really, really high level, and can still get out there and give you buckets right now, right? So just his approach, man, and the way he deals with the players it really stands out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man,
thanks, Coach.
You gotten to be under two great people, different perspectives, different philosophies, but successful and works nonetheless. Hey, I got a fun one for you. Can you list give me the top 5 Vandy players ever in terms of career and what they meant to the Vanderbilt basketball program?
Come on, man! Don't do that to me, man! Don't do that
to me. Come on! It ain't got to be definitive 5.
It's too many, man. It's too many. Obviously, man, come on, man. Now you tested like my history knowledge. I'm gonna forget somebody. I know I'm gonna forget somebody. I'm gonna start throwing some names, but obviously Shane Foster, man. The impact he had, all-time leading scorer. We talk about being a Vanderbilt man. He embodies that. He still represents Vandy. Every single day, man. He loves it, and he's just a heck of a player, right? Just a heck of a player. So his impact that he's had on the program, man, has been obviously tremendous. Oh, man, I mean, you go back to Perry Wallace, right? Just in terms of like his impact he had, being the first African-American player in the SEC. I mean, you got to talk about him. You got to talk about Clyde Lee. I mean, what he did. My first coach, Jan Van Bredikoff, you know what I'm saying? He was player of the year in the league.
So VBK was your coach?
BBK coached my first 3 years in this.
The first 3 years, and then wow.
Yeah.
What was BBK like?
Come on, man. You got Drew Maddox, man. You got Matt Freege, man. They all my boys, man. They all had an impact, man. So I'm gonna say everybody, but even recently, man, just the impact Darius has had. Darius Garland. I mean, he still comes back and works out during the summer.
He's not bad.
No, not at all. I mean, Daniel Jones went and got him a ring. I mean, it's just so many guys, man. I can't answer that question. I know that was a cop out, man. I'm sorry, man. There's too many guys, man, and I know I missed a whole bunch of people.
No, that's a tough one, especially for a place like Vandy, because I don't think people understand how deep, especially the professional lineage goes. Because there's been a lot of pros come out of Vandy that have had successful NBA careers.
I forget my boy Ronnie McMahon, man. There's just so many dudes, man. So many.
Whole lot of people. Coach? I got one more question for you, and then we're gonna do some rapid fire questions real quick. What's the most profound thing you've learned from the game of basketball?
Look at that question.
Man, it's just man, probably just just overall just life lessons, man, in general, man. Just it's funny how so many lessons you learn in basketball can be translated over to the game, to life on a day-to-day basis, right? Being able to fight through adversity, being able to be a pro and manage your time and take care of your business and do what you're supposed to do and stuff like that, man. But again, I talk to my son about it all the time, and I mean that's a tough question, man. But I was saying I talk to him all the time, man. That the life lessons that you learn playing sports, being a part of a locker room, being a part of a team, going through ups and downs, it's like we feel like it's like the most important thing in the world when we win a game and when we lose a game, right? And it's just a game. But when you invested in it so much, man, you guys know it's a competitor. Like it feels like it's everything, right? When you're dealing with coaches, you're dealing with not playing. So you're dealing with not playing well, right? You're dealing with stuff off the court that's affecting you on the court. So it's just so many different, life lessons, man, to be learned in the game of basketball, man. I think that's probably what I try to remember on a day-to-day basis. And again, that's why I do what I do, man. That's why I wanted to get into coaching, because I don't want those guys to make the same mistakes I made. Yeah. Right. So as a guy that's been through it and can relate to what you guys are going through and kind of try to talk to you on a real personal level and stuff like that, man, that's why I do. I want those guys to not take advantage of the opportunity they have right now and, not make the same mistakes I made.
Yeah. That's perfect, Coach. That's perfect. All right, hey, we like to end it with some rapid fire questions that turn into not so rapid fire questions. So here we go. We're gonna get it started.
All right, go for it.
All right, here we go. Last technical as a coach.
Oh man, I never got one.
Never got one?
Never had one.
What about a player?
Never had one.
No?
Never had one.
Clean. He got a clean track record.
Elementary school, middle school, high school.
You know you're due for one this year. Now that you said that, right?
I legit myself. Yeah, if I had to go back, man, I probably had one in high school for hanging on the rim or something like that, man. But I try to portray myself as squeaky clean, but I wasn't squeaky clean when I played it all.
All right. So the next question is: you ever been kicked out of a game?
No, never been kicked out of a game.
Yeah,
no, never been kicked out of a game. Nope.
All right. Next question you've answered a couple times on this podcast. Have you ever dunked a basketball on a 10-foot rim?
Man, that's all I used to do.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And now the players look at me now. They look at me now like, Coach, ain't no way you used to dunk, man. Like, ain't no way. You know, I done gained some weight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Losing my hair, man. Got these gray hairs and stuff like that. Ain't no way you used to dunk. So I'm gonna try to get loose one day, man. See if I can throw one down for them. Yeah, that's all I used to do, man. That's how I got to school, man. Athleticism.
That's all. What was your best dunk?
Man, probably against UT. It might have been my junior year, man. I got a steal, and Vegas Day, he jumped with me. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened I jumped first. You know what I'm saying? You can never jump second, man. You jump second, man, you're done. Yeah. So I think I jumped first, man. I think I got it, man. And we won that game, man. I don't think I've ever seen Memorial go more crazy when I was playing. So, yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. You are up 3 at the end of the game. The other team has the last shot. Do you foul or let it play out?
I'm going to let it play out.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it play out because we almost lost the game at Vandy fouling up 3, right? Okay. So we playing Wichita State. Mario Moore had to hit the game winner. That's when Mo hit the game winner.
Yeah.
Last second shot. We up 3. We foul. He goes and makes the first. Missed the second one perfectly. They get the rebound, score, and foul, and won.
Yep.
So then they go up. So it completely backfired on us.
Yeah.
Then we take it out, throw it to half court. Mo hits a crazy shot. No, it wasn't Mario. I'm sorry. It was Corey Smith. Okay. We had a play drawn up, and we threw it the length of the court, man, and got a wide open layup, man, and won by 1.
Mario had that other one
against. Let it play out.
Yeah, let it play out. Okay. Mario had that crazy one against, what was it, Oregon?
Oregon, that's what it was.
Okay, that was Mario's shot. All right. You leaving your best player in with 2 fouls in the first half?
Nope.
No, why not? No matter what?
Well,
you going to lose a game in the first half?
Nah, I ain't going to lose a game in the first half, man, but as much as
now you're dictating the question, Asa. Let him talk. Let him finish the question.
As much as we say, yeah, Coach, I ain't gonna foul. I'm good. You never know, man. Here comes a charge. Like here comes a legal screen or something like that, or just in the wrong place or something like that. I'm taking him out.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Go for the tie. Go for the win.
I'm going for the win.
All right.
For the win. On the road, I'm going for the win for sure. No doubt about it. Definitely going for the win.
Yeah. Home, you might go for the tie? Maybe.
Yeah, we may try to get something. Hey, it depends. At Belmont, man, we probably was going for the win anyway because we're going to shoot a 3 regardless.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, okay. Casual or professional on the sidelines?
Man, I would prefer casual after going through COVID and being comfortable on the sidelines, a couple times. I would probably prefer that. But I just got me a new suit, man, so I think I'm going to have to go professional now, man.
You're going to have to show it off this season?
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like Stack, you know what I'm saying, as many times as coaches, like, was wearing the polos and stuff like that during COVID, man, we still wore suits.
Yes. We still wore suits. I'll tell you what, Stack dresses up nice. He dresses up real nice.
Oh, clean. Super clean. Super clean.
All right, early morning practice or evening or night practice?
I would prefer midday.
Yeah.
But if I can't go midday, I'd rather go early morning.
Okay.
And again, like, like, now that I'm older and stuff like that, you got kids who like practice and stuff like that, man. You want to have your evenings like a little free, man. Be with the wife, be with the kids, be able to do stuff like that. So I'd rather go in the morning than late at night.
Got you.
I hear that.
All right. If you were not coaching basketball, what would you be doing?
Man, probably some type of salesman. I don't know where. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking my whole life, man. So I'll probably be some type of salesman somewhere. Yeah. Selling cars or something. I don't know. Insurance, ain't no telling.
Who said salesman also within the past couple of weeks?
Oh gosh, Nathan. It was probably Brandon Baker or something.
No.
I can't. I have to go back and look. I can't remember.
We'll remember. Keep going. Sorry.
Coach, you playing any golf?
Terrible.
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 What about
I
top golf?
actually played a round of golf for the first time about a month ago.
Hey, there we go.
Man, we had a staff retreat down in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So Stack's a big golfer, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple other golfers on the staff. They out there talking. I'm like, man, I'm terrible, man. Put me in the back with the worst player and, like, just let me just bring up the rear. So I got to the point, man. Where I could actually hit it off the tee pretty good. Mm-hmm. No short game, no putting game whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
None. Terrible.
Tell you what, that short game's tough.
That short game is tough. Putting is the toughest, though.
I see how you get addicted to it, though, man. I see how you can get addicted to it real quick.
It's so addicting. It's so
competitive.
It's the most challenging game I've ever played. Much more so than any other sport. All right, Coach. Should every team make the conference tournament?
Yes.
Why?
I've been on some teams before that have been at the bottom.
That'll do it. That'll make you want to do it. You want
to have a chance. Give yourself a chance. You know, especially like on the mid-major level, man. Like, your preseason, your non-conference don't even really matter. Like, your conference schedule matters for seeding, and then it's like really just the conference tournament in order to get into the big dance, really. Yeah. So I just believe, man, you know what I'm saying, just give everybody a chance.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, last one. LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
No, you don't even have to think.
All right, hey, I got one. Jordan or Stack? Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I'm going to come out of North Carolina.
All right.
I'm going to take Stack. I'm around with Stack.
All right. Hey, I hear that. Funny. Hey, Coach, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, Coach, we appreciate it. You on social media, Twitter, Instagram, or anything?
Yeah, just Twitter, man. It's Coach J Strong 3 on Twitter, man. Nothing else, man. Nothing else. I'm trying to get. They're trying to get me updated, man. Like Instagram or something like that, man. I've been holding off as long as I can, man. So just Twitter. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you can find him there. You can find myself on Instagram at the Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find me on Twitter at Coach Ace of Spades. You can find Nathan on Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find us. You can find Mind of a Coach on Twitter at Mind of a Coach Pod. And you can find us on Instagram at Mind of a Coach. Coach Strong, we appreciate it, man. Best of luck to you and Vandy this season. Best of luck to you in your future and everything else you got going on. We appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. It's, once you told me about this, man, I think it's a good thing y'all doing, man. So y'all keep going, man. Appreciate y'all bringing me on.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.